The emotional part about selling a house that nobody is really ready for, even if you're ready for the move. You can be completely ready to make a move and for the next chapter and still have a hard time leaving the home. That doesn't mean you're making a wrong decision. You have so many memories built into that property. It's not just a house to you. And it's a container. The house has been a container for those memories. After decades of sitting with home sellers and talking about their next steps, it's obvious to me that many of them are not prepared for the emotional side of moving. They think that they're ready to downsize or relocate or move up, and they call me in and they feel like they should be excited, and then all of a sudden all these other emotions come into play. That's because the house isn't just a house. The height marks on a door frame, the kitchen where everybody gathered over homework and meals and friends came over and had coffee and wine with you, the tree that somebody planted, all the special little parts of the home that you chose specifically because they made you feel happy and comfortable. Those things matter. A buyer, they walk in and they see square footage. You as a seller, you see Tuesday morning breakfast before school and Christmas Eve and the dog that used to sleep on the rug. That difference matters. And then there's the stuff. And this, in my opinion, is where people really get hung up. They're ready to go, but they're maybe not sure where they're going, so they don't know how much of their current possessions to keep. Or maybe they do know where they're going and they know how much they have to downsize, but they're struggling with pulling the trigger and making decisions on what should stay and what should go. It's deciding where 30 to 40 years of life should go. It's not easy. Why is getting rid of a stupid bowl so difficult? Because it was your mother's bowl? And now, suddenly, we're crying over Tupperware. This is where, if you're a downsizer, your adult children come into play. Because many people wish that their kids would take some of the special items, the meaningful things, and a lot of the time, the downsizers are discovering their kids don't want that stuff. Or if you're like me, the sandwich generation, Gen X, I'm getting ready to downsize at some point, so I'm not bringing new stuff into my home right now. I'm getting rid of things in preparation. So if the older generation wants to hand me something, unless it's something extremely special, I probably don't really want or need it. And that can be hard to hear. Sometimes you're also leaving a version of yourself. Maybe this is the home where you raised your children. Maybe you bought the home with someone who isn't here anymore. Maybe you were 34 when you moved in and you're 68 now. Life looks a little different. Moving isn't only the logistics. It's not only where am I going. Sometimes it's who am I if I don't live here anymore. Guilt is weirdly common in these decisions. People feel guilty about selling the family home. Guilty because the kids love it and it's their home base where their memories were built, where they feel young, warm, and accepted. Guilty because they thought they'd stay forever. Guilty because the spouse that's no longer here loved the home. Sometimes they even feel guilty because they're actually excited for their next chapter and ready to go. That last one is the most interesting to me. You can love a home and still be finished with it and ready for what's next. That has to be okay with the friends and family that love you. They need to be able to support and accept your decision because it is, at the end of the day, your home and your decision. Why do I think this matters when you're selling? Well, this is why I encourage home sellers when they're making a big move, especially if they've been in their home for a while. whether they're downsizing, wherever they're going. If you've been in your home for a while, you're going to bump into this. I can guarantee it. And so I encourage home sellers to reach out to their trusted realtor as early as possible, way before you might be ready to put the sign in the yard. A trusted resource like myself can guide you through some of these emotional, awkward, and sometimes even scary transitions. That's why you don't want to make this decision in one frantic weekend. And it's why my real estate advice isn't just about painting, staging, and pricing. It's about your feelings and how I can help guide you through to solve those and hold your hand while you're feeling them too. Sometimes my first job is to just help someone figure out what they're ready for, and I'm happy to do it. Of course, I am there to help sell the property. That's my primary position. I'm a realtor. That's basically the definition, help people buy and sell homes. But I'm not working with the home. I'm working with the homeowner, who's a human with real emotions and real feelings to process. And I want to be there to support that. Because what comes next doesn't erase what was before. I've done this myself, downsized once already, and I'll probably need to do it again before all is said and done. What comes next doesn't erase what came before. When you move, you take those memories with you. I have strategies to help with that, especially for the physical things that you're having a hard time getting rid of, even though you know they have no place in your next chapter. I have thoughts on that. I can help. But I don't deal with things. I don't sell houses. I work with people to help them accomplish their goals. And if the goal is to sell a home that you've been in a long time and you're feeling emotional about it, then my job is to help you with those emotions. If you're in that I need to or want to phase of life and you have no idea where to start, that's a perfectly great time to call me. You don't have to have it all figured out first. We can do it together.